Welcome back, guys. Welcome to Before the Whistle, powered by Phoenix Sports, where simulation meets reality. Using EAFC's 26 World Game Experience, we simulate the exact World Cup fixtures. Then we come and debate and also analyze what these fixtures also mean based on the simulations. The ones we do agree with, we'll be speaking about that also. But also, we also want to know, can the game predict what's going to happen at the World Cup? With virtual reality, get it right. This isn't just football. This is Before the Whistle. And remember, life is a game. Press play. The World Cup so far has been nothing short of exciting. So far, this is how all the tables are shaping up. In Group A, so far it's Mexico who is topping that one, with South Korea just behind. In Group B, is currently Canada, one of the hosts of the current World Cup, leading that one with Switzerland, also second on that table. In Group C, we do have that Brazilian team with Morocco, both on 4 points. While in Group D, we're looking at the USA taking this one all home for the first time. They've been able to win back-to-back games here at the World Cup. With Australia also in that one with 3 points, and Paraguay also in that one. But Group E, let's see how that one is also shaping up, with Germany currently leading that one with 6 points, and also Cote d'Ivoire just behind with 3 points, with Ecuador looking to also qualify from this one. Well, in Group F, as it's shaping up right now, is currently Netherlands at the top of that one based on goal difference, and also Japan just behind them, with Sweden also a point behind those two teams, with Tunisia already knocked out of this one. Group G is also looking interesting, because right now we also have Egypt topping that one with 4 points. Iran, also a shocking one, is second in this one, and also Belgium, shocker so far from that team, the golden generation that they used to be known as, currently in third place in that group. Group H currently is also shaping up for Spain after struggling in the first game with 4 points. That's how that one is shaping up. Uruguay also following them just behind in that one. Also, for Group I, you France currently leading that one with 6 points. Also just behind them, that Norway team. I will be telling you about that Norway team very soon as we speak on them. Group J currently with Argentina, the current holders, are currently leading that one with 6 points, while Austria are just behind with 3 points, with Algeria also on 3 points in that one. The groups are currently shaping up because we are seeing some shockers also. But while that is very important, let's dive into what I did say we're doing at the beginning, the simulation. While the groups are shaping up very well, we'll be diving into the simulations next, because that's what I did tell you that we're here to do. We're here to try and predict how these games are going to go. We'll also be giving you how the table are shaping up just from these predictions after the first 2 rounds of matches, before we dive into what we think all the simulation things will happen in round 3. We'll be diving into that next. But also remember, life is a game. Press play. Welcome back, guys. Before we dive into those simulations for round 3, let's review what we had to see last week. I did tell you about some matches I did agree with, some I didn't. I also gave you my thoughts on why I felt those matches weren't going to go that way. I think I didn't get I didn't get one right, so we're speaking about that. But let's look at what we had to do, even with the simulation and the expected outcome. We're looking at this one. That Czechia game against South Africa. Some of the simulations, 2-1, a 2-1 win for Czechia, 3-3 draw, and a 4-2 win for that South African team. The expected outcome for this one was looking to be 2-2. That was 4 goals scored, but it was 2 goals scored. Half of that simulation had already predicted this one, but it looks like the simulation had it right of it being a draw. Another game we'll also be looking at is that one between Brazil and Haiti. I did tell you that this Brazilian team, they can choose not to really turn up when they most likely have to win in this one, because sometimes I do feel that they don't really perform when they are expected to win against some of these smaller teams. But the simulation had it at 2-0, a 1-0 win for Brazil also, and also a 2-2 draw. Shocking about that one. But looking at the expected outcome for this one, it was a 1-0 win for this one. But that Brazil team did score over what we expected. And that match was supposed to go by 2 goals. They ended up winning that one 3-0. Another very, very interesting one is that match between Norway and Senegal. I'm really happy about this one because I kind of feel justified. Last week, I did tell you guys that I don't think that this Norway team had to push over as the simulation had said. The simulation was gave that Senegalese team a 3-0 win, 3-1 win, and also another 3-1 win. With the expected outcome for this one being 3-0, but the 3 was on the other side on this one, with that Norway team, with Erling Haaland looking to win the Golden Boots, scoring in that match, 3-2 the scoreline. On that one. But I think with the goals, the simulation was quite on track with that one. But as I did say last week, I knew that Norway team had something for us because I knew if they were able to grind it out, Matteo Odegaard. Also, I did tell you that his creativity was going to be important in that one. But another game we're looking at is that one between Netherlands and Sweden. The simulation gave us a 1-1 draw, a 3-0 win for this Netherlands team, and also another 1-1 draw. The expected outcome based on our calculation was supposed to be a 1-0 win, but it was flying goals for this Dutch team as they came in that one to win that one 5-1. So it's kind of a foul figure in terms of what we expected in that one. Some of the other games that we could say, this one that actually the exhibition got this one totally wrong. It was Ecuador against Curacao. 3-0 win, 3-0 win, and 4-1 win was predicted across 3 simulations. And the expected outcome for that one was supposed to be 3-0. But that game ended up with 0-0 as nobody was able to score. Also, that Curacao team, the goalkeeper having 15 saves in that match, a record for that one. I actually thought that Ecuador were going to come out of that one after just narrowly losing to that Cote d'Ivoire team. But another one was that one between Germany and Cote d'Ivoire. A 2-1 win for the first nation was predicted. Another 1-0 win, another 1-1. The expected outcome for this one we're looking at was a 1-0 win for that Germany side. I did tell you before that I thought that Cote d'Ivoire were going to beat this team, but as if you even watch the match, you'll see that they were not clinical with their chances. And based on the actual scoreline, it was actually a 2-1 win. So a 1-goal difference as the simulation has stated before in that one. But so if we're looking at some of these other matches, the one for Morocco and Scotland, that one, Morocco was predicted by the simulation to win 3-0, 3-1, and also a 2-2 draw. What was expected for that one was a 2-1 win for that Moroccan team, but also again, difference of 1 goal as this one came out with a 1-0 win for that Scotland team. Really, really, 1-0 win for that Moroccan team as they did battle this one out to get 3 points and also tie it up for the World Cup fixtures as they are in that group with Brazil. But I do think another game, I'll just say the signature was far off. This one was that Uruguay and Cape Verde game where they predicted 3-0, 3-0 and 5-1. Expected outcome for that one was supposed to be 3-0 for that Uruguay team, but that game ended 2-2. What a game. Free kick. Free kicks were on show in that one. You could have said maybe the goalkeeper could have done something different, but that's how some of these, as you can also see, some of the other fixtures that did happen across those round 2 matches. Next, we'll be diving into those round 3 matches where we'll be giving you what the simulation had to say and also giving you maybe my thoughts on what I do feel will also happen across those matches. Do you agree that the simulation got some of this right? And do you agree, even with the margin of goal? I didn't know that some of you do like stats. I know, especially when it comes to fantasy football, predicting if the team is going to score a high amount of goals by picking some of those players. So is this something that the simulation would have helped you with, let us know in the comment section also. And here is also how the tables are shaping up after we simulated the round one and round two fixtures, with Mexico topping that group A, Czechia also second, and third South Korea, with South Africa fourth in that one. Group B is currently looking at Canada topping that one, with 4 points. Switzerland just behind with 2 points. Qatar, surprisingly, based on this table, are third in this one, and Bosnia, with 1 point. Brazil, on the other hand, I think this group also basically even represents what's actually even happening at the World Cup currently, because both Brazil and Morocco, according to the simulations after the first round, are supposed to be on 4 points, and they're actually on 4 points right now, with even Scotland also being on 3 points after 2 games at the World Cup currently. The simulation actually got that one right. Turkey, on the other hand, for Group D, is currently topping this one with 6 points. That's a different case in terms of the World Cup, with that one being the United States actually being flying in this World Cup. The simulation had something different. They said after the first 2 rounds of matches, with Turkey topping this one with 6 points. The United States also on 2 points in this one. Australia and Paraguay on 1 point each. While also you can see Group E, Ecuador actually topping this one with Germany. Something would have expected based on the teams in this one, but Cote d'Ivoire something would have expected based on the teams in this one, but based on the simulation here, Cote d'Ivoire actually struggling with Curacao also on 0 points. Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador and Germany on both on 6 points. They're looking at that Group F, as the Netherlands also topping that one with 6 points. Sweden 3 points in behind, and Tunisia, who have actually been knocked out at the actual World Cup, but the simulation had it here with them being on 3 points after just 2 games, with Japan being last. That team, I did tell you, if you know about 2018, you know how dangerous that Japanese team were. But looking at some of the other groups to wrap this one up, we're looking at Group G with Belgium topping, Egypt in second place, and also New Zealand in third, and Iran last position there. Spain in this one are topping this one with 6 points, with Uruguay on 6 also, and Saudi Arabia in third, 0 points with that team. Capo Verde, who have also been a shining light at the World Cup currently, but the simulation had them here last position after the round, after 2 matches. Also Group I, where I would say this is a group of death, where France, Senegal, and Norway are. In this one, the French team currently leading this one based on the simulation and the expected outcome with 6 points. Senegal with 3 points, and Norway also on 3 points in this one. Group G, consisting with Argentina topping that one. Portugal also here topping this one after 2 games based on the simulation. And also lastly, that Group L, England on top in this one, with Croatia just in behind. Those are the outcomes we had based on the simulation and our data analytics that we had here at Phoenix Sports. Are you happy with what the simulation had to say in this one? We've seen some differences with what's happening currently in reality, but I just say they were bits on track in this one based on some of the group standings. But as usual, remember, stay tuned with us, because life is a game. Just press play. Welcome back, guys. It's been a great one speaking about this one with you. We spoke about what the simulation had to say for those round 2 fixtures, and what the expected outcome was versus the final result. We did see that simulation got some right, and there were also some close. We say maybe about 60% close for some matches. But I feel justified, especially about that match between Norway and Senegal. I did think that Norway team were going to come out on top, and I think I got that one right. But we'll be diving into the simulations for the round 3 matches. I can tell you that this one, there are some blockbuster games. We'll also be giving you what those 3 simulations had to say about that one, and also the expected outcome based on the average of those matches that were being played based on the simulation. I'll also be giving you my thoughts on who I feel will be key for some of these teams going into this one. But just looking at some of these fixtures, I did say they are going to be blockbuster games, and I can tell you that the first one that I would say I will be looking at based on the simulation was this one between Colombia and Portugal. This could potentially be a table topping fixture at the World Cup currently. But looking at this one, this first simulation had 5-0 win for that Portuguese team. We could also see, if you're a fan of fantasy football, as I said, just picking some of these players, if you're thinking that Ronaldo wasn't going to turn up in this one, as the simulation shows, there's a hat-trick for him in this one. Hopefully you'll be getting that. But looking at some of the last simulations, a 2-1 win also for Colombia. The second simulation. Wow. Also another 3-1 win for that Colombian team. But the expected outcome based on our calculation is supposed to be a 2-1 win for this Portuguese side. I do think that this Portuguese side are going to grow in the tournament, and hopefully are able to play more as a team than individual players. As we saw based on the first match. But looking at this one, I do think that this might be a realistic scoreline based on the expected outcome. A 2-1 win for this Portuguese team, because they want to top that group to give themselves maybe even a favorable fixture going into the next round. Another blockbuster game we'll be going into is that one between Norway and France. It's the battle of strikers. It's Haaland against Mbappe. And looking at some of the scorelines here, looking like the simulation isn't even backing this Norwegian team. Because you also know the level of talent on that French team. You are seeing a 3-2 win for that French team. Also a 4-1 win. Looking at this one, while the third simulation predicted a 2-2 draw, but the expected outcome for this one is a 3-1 win for that French team. Just even looking at how they've played so far, looking at Michael Olise and Mbappe, that connection that they have. So I think that would have been something maybe this nation would have put into context of how that one is going to go. But even looking at some of the goal scorers for this one, you are looking at Mbappe also on the score sheet. Haaland, of course, who also will be behind the goals for that Norwegian team, if not him in this one. But across the three simulations, you can see Haaland and Mbappe coming up with the goals for their teams. Also, another one that I would say is quite interesting is this one between Japan and Sweden. What was predicted was for the first simulation was a 2-2 draw. Also, a 1-0 win for that Japanese team in the second simulation, and it's also a 2-2 draw. We expected outcome for this one. Looking at three simulations, is a 1-1 draw for this one. We will see how that one happens, because we know that Japanese team can potentially maybe even give a shocker in this one. That the Swedish team, they do have the lethal force of Isaac and that man they call Gyökeres. The Arsenal man, just coming off after winning the Premier League with that Arsenal team. Another idea, as I was still speaking of heavyweight features, we're looking at Ecuador against Germany. Currently, if you're looking at the World Cup currently, you'll see that Ecuador team are looking to pick up 3 points in this one to even have any chance of even progressing into the next round. Coming into this one, unbeaten, but so far it hasn't been going well for them at the World Cup. But the predictions, looking at this one, had a 3-1 win for Germany. Also, another 2-1 win for them, for that German side. And also a 1-0 win for this Ecuadorian team. The expected outcome for this one, you see, is a 1-1 scoreline. I do think that the German team might choose to kind of rotate a bit for this one, so that could be a fixture that you could look at. That okay, so, maybe a shocker might happen. Not a shocker, but something different aside from what the simulation is currently giving on. I'll be based on my own bias. I will be tipping the Ecuadorian team to eventually even pick up 3 points in this one. As I said, I do expect that German team to rotate. Another fixture we'll be looking at is that one between Scotland and that Brazilian team. The simulation had a 1-0 win for this Brazilian side, also a 2-1 win, and also for the Scottish side, and also a 5-2 win for that Brazilian side. The expected outcome for this one is supposed to be 2-1 to the Brazilian team. They'll be looking to top that one in that group. I'll be sharing my thoughts on those ones, and when we come back for the next episode, see how those ones, how that one turns out. But lastly, if we're looking at another big blockbuster game, is that one between Uruguay and that Spanish team, Yamin Yamal, Fede Valverde, renewing their El Clasico battle. And the simulation had to say, the first simulation had to say in this one that the Uruguay team will be going up. Mikel Bielsa's team will be going up with a 2-1 win, but the second was in the favor of that Spanish side, a 4-2 win for them, and the third simulation had 1-1 scoreline. The expected one outcome for this one is supposed to be a 2-1 win for that Spanish side. I do quite agree on that one, because I do think this Spanish team, I feel they have the quality to hurt the Uruguayan team, and they have not been playing so well. Roma Araujo is also out for them, injured, so that will be also be a big miss for them. But as you always know, shockers can also happen in this one. The other estimation will also show you some other fixtures that will be happening in this round 3 matches. Sorry, as we kind of close out the group, we'll be bringing you the updated table based on this fixture next time we meet. But as usual, stay keep it still before the whistle, and remember, life is a game. Press play.